seems to have turned AEK's season around. They're currently up in third place, although some way off Olympiacos and Panathinaikos, their two city rivals. And now the action will get underway. Well, that's interesting that Nikos Libropoulos doesn't captain the side tonight. The striker just to the right of the referee there. He is usually the vice-captain for AEK, but it is Traianos Delas who comes into the side. He'll play at centre-back. Maybe a little bit more experience. 53 caps for his country. Better overview of things from the back. And gives Libropoulos at least a chance to concentrate on his striking, but that is certainly going to be some task with that kind of atmosphere. Screaming throughout the match. Listen to that roar of disapproval as soon as AEK Athens get on the ball. Here's Libropoulos, Lino on him. Well, Lino was sent off in the last game as well. It does make me wonder why those two players are in the side tonight. Ivic also in there for PAOK. Both dismissed. I only assume that either of those decisions have been overturned. Certainly Ivic's was a harsh one. I'm rather more surprised to see Lino in the team. Makis Chavos took over also in October. After a string of coaches, he's actually a third coach this season at the Toowoomba Stadium for PAOK. It's away by Karabellas. Bruno Cirillo. Looking for Muslimovic, the lone striker. Bosnian frontman with his Serbian counterpart just behind him. Ivic will play in support. Libropoulos wins the foul for the visitors. Scored in the first leg of the quarter-finals to help his side get this far. Nikos Libropoulos. In fact, he scored both in the 2-0 victory. Dallas will take the free kick. Officials just making sure the pitch clear of any distractions or destructions. Floated ball in, punch away there from Dario Kresic, PAOK's Croatian goalkeeper. Towering at 6'5" is Salpingidis. Salpingidis, bottom of your screens there, the man who saw PAOK into the semi-finals. It was his goal against Olympiacos in the quarters that saw them through. 2-1 on aggregate, they progressed. Well, certainly both sides saving up their best players for this game. Looking at the teams from the weekend, certainly been a few changes. One of them being Salpingidis. He was only a substitute at the weekend, but such is his importance that he's been drafted back into the team today as their top striker. 9 goals already this season. On by Papa Bouba Diop. So unfortunate in the first leg to see 2 of his headers crash against the crossbar. Away comes Nacho Scocco. Probably AEK's most creative player. And it's interesting to see as well that Ismael Blanco partners Libropoulos up front. There were calls for that for some time from the AEK fans. I felt that both were in decent form, but Jimenez was choosing one or the other for a time, and this evening has gone with both up front, probably due to the fact that they need to score, really. Lino's ball in. Salpingidis. Lino again. Well, he did put in some silly challenges in the first leg, it has to be said, fully deserved to be given 2 yellow cards. Should have been sent off a little earlier than he was, in my opinion, but this is Muslimovic. Spread by Vitolo, the man who scored the winning goal against Olympiacos at the weekend for PAOK. 2-1 victory. Olympiacos currently storming away at the top of the Greek Super League. More on that in a moment as AEK Athens come forward here. It's Skoko. Foul given Pablo Garcia, the culprit there. Good break by AEK Athens. Certainly looking to hit the home side on the counter. Skoko then standing over the free kick. Krasic organising the wall, says he wants two. Maybe a little bit far out for Skoko to score. Hardly receiving any encouragement from the crowd, that's for sure. Well, those laser pens can't be doing him many favours either. Papa Bouba Diop awaiting the delivery. Well, it's all very well to have these fireworks, but shouldn't be entering the pitch. Skoko's delivery. Behind for a corner, I think. Just looking to get the flick on header. Look at this. Well, there has been a lot of talk, problems of crowd trouble, and well, Skoko refusing to take the corner until this calms down, and good on him, I say. Why should he perform and entertain these fans when they're throwing not just abuse but also objects that could be painful in his direction? In fact, AEK Athens wrote a letter on behalf of the entire club to the Prime Minister of Greece, addressing the problems that have blighted Greek football over the past year, comparing the alleged football scandal as well. There's been a bit of a betting problem in the Greek league recently, and he's comparing that the problems that are arising in football to the kind of controversy and lack of public accountability, really, that led to the Greek financial crisis earlier in the year. Hopefully this corner will be taken shortly, but well, it's not ideal. I mean, the linesman's just returning to his spot now. Never nice to see. The Greek fans are certainly passionate.
That's it.
So eventually Skoko to take the kick. Blinded by laser pens is something that needs to be addressed as well, I believe. Well, now someone, I believe, has thrown a firework as well. Officials encouraging him to continue, but I think Skoko really should not have to fear for his own safety on a football field. And he's got another corner now. Sure, he'll hit this one long to get away from the violent fans on the near side. So, Skoko's corner, looking for Pablo Garcia. Bit of a push, I think, on is it Schnauchner, who's gone down. Viarinia, I think. Viarinia, talented player, also scored earlier on in the competition. One of PAOK's more creative players. Indeed, it was he who scored the equaliser the first leg of the quarter-final against Olympiacos. So played his part certainly, was injured recently, but missed the first leg, but back in the side now. Came on as a substitute at the weekend against Olympiacos in the league. Ivic, I didn't look as though there was anything too wrong with that challenge from Papa Bouba Diop. Ivic did nick in and get the ball from in front of him, but I'm not so sure Papa Bouba Diop's the kind of player to lash out, so maybe a replay will give us more. Well, still inconclusive from that angle. Either way, it's PAOK who have the free kick. PAOK will be hoping to finally win this competition. They have actually won it on 4 occasions in the past, the most recent in 2003, but they have the rather unlucky and unwanted record of having been the team which has finished runners-up the most in this competition. 12 times they've reached the final, only to go on and lose. Garcia with the free kick, looking for Salpingidis. It was clever, and Blanco can break here. Unable to release Georgias over on the far side. Georgias has come back into the side since Sanel Jajic has been injured. Fairly hefty coming together of those two players there. Salpingidis getting the shot away, but didn't connect with the ball. Instead, connecting, I think it was Manolas, but hopefully he'll be back on his feet shortly. Delicately poised this tie. Certainly plenty to ponder for both managers, how they're going to approach this one tactically. Neither have to score. It's not a situation where we've already got away goals. David Mateos it was, in fact, a man who bore the brunt of Dimitrios Salpingidis' right boot. So, the ball with Dario Krasic. Play resumes once more. Looking for Ivic. Very tall for an attacking midfielder. Likes to play that trequartista role, if I can pronounce it properly. Centre of a midfield 3. Biarinia's ball wide. Lino approaching. Crosses too deep this time, but Salpingidis will get on the end of it. No, he won't, because back defending was Carabellis. It's been PAOK with the early pressure on home turf, as you'd expect. They will feel they have the slight advantage being on home turf. They're currently lie 4th in the league, though, behind AEK Athens, 3 points behind, in fact. Same amount of games played. Full squad to choose from for coach Markis Havos. Probably for the first time this season, in fact. The season troubled by injuries. Had gone through a bit of a slump as well, PAOK in the league. They'd lost a few games on the trot and looked to be slipping out of the playoff race, but thankfully a couple of victories, one over Ergotelis and then subsequently last week's against Olympiacos has put them right back in contention. 4th at the moment, need to finish in the top 5 to be in with a chance of taking that second Champions League spot. Olympiacos pretty much nailed on to win the title now. They're only delayed by that win from PAOK the other day. One more victory and it's theirs. 10 points ahead with 4 games to go. Good ball in, looking for Skocka, almost made it. Schnauchner judged to have been fouled by the referee. Krasic forward, driven towards Muslimovic. Now Salpingidis does well to control, but in with a foot. An important one. There was Nikolaos Karabellis. And the foul by Viorinia. Sebastian Sahar, Argentinian, former international, won 4 caps between 2002-2003. 31 years of age now. I think his international career has probably come to a close, but certainly very much the number one at AEK Athens. Hefty challenge from Lino again, and well, Lino stayed down. Back on his feet now. Skoko. Sandwiched by 3 defenders. Garcia, formerly of Real Madrid, Uruguayan international, 68 caps, bags of experience, the PAOK captain. Muslimovic, big target man to aim for, but Dallas has the experience to keep him under wraps. That time Michel not quite able to hang on to the ball. Of course, Michel, the AEK Athens number 11, a man who saw AEK Athens this far as Salpingidis puts a dangerous ball into the box, but comfortable for the goalkeeper, nobody really arriving. Good pace, that's what he's known for, getting down that right flank. Did his best to get it across the face of goal, but always a struggle at that kind of speed. Michel, going back to him, scored an incredible goal in the quarter-finals to dispose of Panathinaikos. Looked like they were heading out on away goals at 3-all. But he hit one from all of, well, what must have been 55 yards inside his own half, or just inside the opponent's half actually. Flew over the goalkeeper and into the net, and that's how AEK Athens reached the semi-finals. First leg of which they drew 0-0. Now battling with PAOK for the right to compete against Atromitos Athens in the final in Athens on the 30th of April. Cirillo's header. Muslimovic. Very strong, tall character, rather like Ivic behind him. Viorinia not so much, but certainly a skillful player. Here's Lino. Viorinia. Georgias quite getting it away. Slip from Sahar. Ivic won't make it. And Georgias concedes the throw. Well, Georgias only making his 9th appearance of the season tonight. He's in for Sanel Jajic, the Bosnian right back. He's injured currently. 34 years of age, but the fans love him for his love of the club, and he's made over 220 league appearances for them. Just coming to the twilight of his career. Here's Lino. Now Garcia. Aimless ball. Skoko winning the header. Ivic could turn. Just about holds on to it. A bit of afters there with Victor Vitolo in the centre. I'm not sure if the referee saw it. I think he may well have pulled play back, because Vitolo got a bit of a kick there, went back to exact his revenge, and presumably Liberopoulos has kicked out at him again. Let's see, maybe we'll get a replay. Victor Vitolo, slayer of Olympiacos at the weekend. Just have a look at this. A little kick out from Liberopoulos, and what you don't see there is that there was a bit of return fire from Victor Vitolo, former Spanish under-21 international. He arrived from Racing Santander following a loan spell with Aris Thessaloniki. Stayed in the same city to return with PAOK. Lino, good touch in field. Zlimovic won't make it. Delas shielding it and gives away the corner. A little bit of a lack of communication there. Here, maybe we get a better angle. Here, the first kick. And, well, Liberopoulos left his foot in. I think Vitolo's made the most of it, to be honest. Both players coming away, though, unscathed, and certainly without a booking, which is the main thing. Zaha claims well. Bit of a nudge from Blanco, and he'll release. Well, it was Michel who'd made the run, but Cirio did well to come in and block his charge on goal. A little bit of a cheeky nudge there to dispose of his marker from Ismael Blanco. 15 goals already this season, Blanco. Carabellis now to take the throw. Crosses poor from the Greek left back. Himself a former under-21. Arrived at the club from Aris Thessaloniki in 2009. Usually a great crosser of the ball, actually, so that one, a bit of an anomaly for him. Not the biggest stadium in the world at just under 29,000, but what an atmosphere. Especially for the double-headed Eagles derby between these two teams, who each have roots from the Istanbul refugees from the Greco-Turkish War. That's where it stems from. Both have the double-headed eagle in their club crests, although PAOK white and black, whereas AK, of course not this evening, but their home kit is yellow and black. Said that PAOK could come into a bit of form with those couple of victories to nudge themselves up to 4th in the table. AK also doing well, foul form. Been a rather inconsistent season, but they've won 3 on the trot heading into this one, including a, well, quite notably, 4-0 rout of PAOK just 10 days ago. Scorers that day were Bouba Diop, 2 from Skoko and 1 from Delas, so that will certainly give the side confidence. That was just a couple of days after the 0-0 draw as well, although that was in Athens. Maybe a little bit of complacency from PAOK on that day. Who knows? I didn't see the game. Rather soft foul, won by Michel on that occasion. Very physical league, the Greek league, but still a lot of Spaniards and skillful Argentinians, South Americans sprinkled around the clubs. Most have 2, 3, 4 Latin talents among their ranks. Ismael Blanco is one of them, Argentinian. He's the joint top scorer in this competition with 4 goals, but comes largely thanks to a hat-trick in the 4th round. And they beat Panthrakikos by 5-1. Michel. Mateos. Very calm on the ball, David Mateos. Someone who's received plenty of praise from no less than Jose Mourinho. It's a good ball, but Ivic didn't see the early pass. Maybe he will now. It was just a tick too late. Muslimovic lurking in the centre, unmarked for a time there, but eventually found out. Garcia. Garcia wins the foul. He's known for giving them away. Nikos Georgias, the offender that time. A little bit of discussion between Makos and Bruno Sirio. 2 players who like to get stuck in. AK can break here with Michel. Not a lot on for him though. Not much movement ahead of him. That'll be a bit of a worrying sign. Here's Georgias pushing forward from right back, but the pass is a poor one for Ismael Blanco. Maybe at the other end Villarinha can show them how to do it. Here is the Portuguese midfielder. Good skill. Into the box, and is that a penalty? Well, let's see what the referee says. No. My first thought, I think if Villarinha had gone down there, he would have won a penalty. I'm not sure if there was contact. Look at this. Challenge from Mateos. Well, he didn't touch him. I think it would have been harsh to give, but I think Villarinha didn't realise how much he could have made of that challenge. Probably with it being behind him. Didn't spot the sliding tackle from Mateos. Well done to the Portuguese youngster for staying on his feet, I must say. Credit to him. Salpingidis. Lively start to the game in this opening half an hour. Barely realised it had gone past. Sirio, Italian centre-back of the old school, certainly. Arrived a couple of years ago from Regina. This is Muslimovic. Now Villarinha. Clever ball in field for Muslimovic once more, but doesn't quite find the return. Makos not quite able to get a hold of it. Listen to the roar as Schnauchner comes forward from right back. First time in the game he's been able to do so. Claims for a handball, pretty sure that they were unfounded. That ball looked as though it was out, indeed it was. AK, well, maybe the worst claim ever. Did hit his upper arm, but I don't think intentionally. AK themselves without a couple of players for this evening's tie, most notably Panagiotis Lagos, who scored the opener in the second leg of the quarter-final against Panathinaikos. Also Savas Gensoglu missing as the first real effort on goal comes in. Vaporopoulos it was with the strike, but simple enough collection for Dario Kresic. Going to take more than that to beat the 6'5" Croatian. Slight deflection, just change the flight path of the ball. Lino picks out Muslimovic. Ivic's challenge wasn't very good, and I can see why he got injured there, just dangling his foot in. Always a danger. Here's Skoko. Good challenge, excellent challenge. Contreras. Brilliant stop to deny the run of Skoko. Salpingidis looking for the pass, doesn't really have many options. Not really any movement. Both sides not playing badly, but I think there does need to be a little bit more creativity in terms of finding space. Look at that for a challenge. Pablo Contreras, superb. Well, it looked to me as though Michel fell over his own feet, but free kick it is to AEK Athens. In fact, AEK Athens isn't strictly the correct name for the Athenian visitors. It's not in part of their name. AEK stands for Athletic Union of Constantinople. Skoko's free kick. Either side really thus far looking like making a breakthrough, but certainly the tempo's been high enough. Bite from both teams, strong tackles flying in, good one for the fans, who are certainly providing a brilliant atmosphere. Just what you want in a cup semi-final. So much riding on it, of course. A quick clearance of the pitch, making sure it's fit for action. It's going to be a substitution here. Panagiotis Lagos is warming up on the sidelines. Well, that's interesting. Already Carabellas being removed, and it's Lagos who replaces him. Lagos, who I mentioned earlier, picked up an injury. That's why it's rather curious that he does enter the fray this evening. Maybe a bit of mind games from the manager Manuel Jimenez to confuse Makis Havos, perhaps leading him into thinking he was going to put out a defensive formation, but certainly Lagos, an attacking player, likes to get forward, likes to break into the box and get shots away. No news as to whether Carabellas has picked up an injury. I think it's just simply tactical for AEK Athens. As I say, maybe trying to fool their opponents into thinking they were going to come here and try and play for the draw, but the introduction of Lagos, undoubtedly a statement of intent. Another reason, which it might be, is that Salpingidis, instead of playing as a central striker, as he has been known to do, with Muslimovic up there instead, Salpingidis on the right of the midfield attacking three. Possibly the pace of Lagos to counter the speed of Dimitrios Salpingidis. Meanwhile, Viorina brings it forward. foul. I don't think he can have too many complaints there. The fans will nonetheless. 25 now, Villarini. Already scored 9 goals this season, so a good return for him. Arrived on loan back in 2009 from Porto, signed permanently afterwards. Originally brought in to pair up with Sergio Conceição, a bit of a hero in PAOK, but he left the club since. So star Portuguese now, Villarini, who's naturally right-footed, but lining up on the left of midfield with Salpingidis on the right. Still no score. 10 minutes to go until the interval. Georgias with the throw. Blanco closely monitored in the centre, and it's Libropoulos. It looked as though he'd kept that in, but obviously the assistant on the far side has a better view than I do, and judged that one to have gone behind the line before he hooked it back. Libropoulos, 11 goals for him, 15 for Blanco, so 26 between them. And another 11 from Skoko as well. Scoring goals certainly hasn't been a problem for AEK Athens. Goal difference is plus 13. Garcia rarely moves beyond the centre circle, a Uruguayan international, or at least he was a Uruguayan international, didn't make the World Cup squad. Of course, Uruguay finishing 4th, having reached the semi-finals, eventually bowing out to the Netherlands. Schnauchner does well. Strong challenge on him afterwards though, but unnecessary. Polish right back, 2 caps for his country. Can actually play anywhere across the back 4, even on the left. 31-year-old. Well, that's an aimless ball forward. Waste of possession. Mateos. If things go well for him at AEK this season, then Manuel Jimenez will have the opportunity to keep him on for another year from Real. As I mentioned earlier, big proponent in Jose Mourinho, so expect big things from David Mateos. 23 now, but in all fairness, unlikely to get in ahead of the likes of Pepe and Ricardo Carvalho at the Bernabeu, so good move for him to come to AEK and gain first team football. Ivic, will he be quick enough? No, the finish was lacking. Well, my first thought was that he might not have the pace to get onto the end of that superb ball through. Garcia it was who played it, brilliant curl on it, but the finish lacking, and that's the best chance of the game so far by a mile. Unfortunately for Ivic, it went a mile wide. Should have done better, deserved better. Certainly Garcia with the pass. Bending it around the defender for Ivic to latch onto. No chance for the 2 centre-backs, and unfortunately finish not to match. Skoko doing his best to put Cerrillo under pressure, and they'll be lucky not to get a yellow card here. While Cerrillo not happy at all, and well, don't think he can have any complaints there. First yellow card of the evening, Nacho Skoko. The referee did well there, in fact, to stand in between and just show Cerrillo that he has got things under control. He's punish the players for fouls as he sees fit. No need for Cerrillo to get involved make the situation worse. Certainly in such a heated atmosphere as this, there is always the danger the game could descend into a bit of a farce. The first game itself, the first leg, I should say, did get a bit ugly with 2 PAOK players sent off. Rather curious though about the second of those sendings off was Ivic, who was dismissed despite receiving a real lumping challenge into his shin. He showed the referee the damage done and then himself received a red card, presumably for some kind of dissent, but we'll never know. Good ball in, and the chance, and wide. Well, after Ivic's chance at the other end, things are heating up now. The chance in the middle for Skoko. Blanco's teasing ball in, swerving away from the goalkeeper, right onto the head of Skoko, but he couldn't quite direct it into that far corner. Makos lays it wide. This is Georgias. It's Blanco who's made the run. Kept under wraps pretty well, the 15-goal striker. Certainly would have been identified as the major threat. A man who's got a record of pretty much a goal every couple of games wherever he's been. Top scorer in the Greek Super League in both 2008-2009. And the Athenians have another corner here. Skoko, resident set-piece specialist. Bouba Diop rising to meet the head. He's been fairly quiet so far, hasn't seen much of the ball, certainly not as much as he did in the first leg. But certainly always a threat from set pieces, as he showed in that 0-0 draw, and indeed in the league game just a few days later when he scored the opener in that 4-0 win for AEK Athens. Georgias. Skoko again with the foul. They won't want to lose him, so needs to keep his mouth shut. Maybe just be a little bit wiser. Lino with a long pumped ball forward, looking for Ivic, won't find him. Things just calm down slightly as we head towards the half-time whistle, but chances at either end. Ivic for PAOK and Skoko, not quite such a good chance for AEK at the other end, but has been the potential for goals. Both sides certainly up for it. So far, the two defences looking sharp. Lagos makes the challenge. So Traianos Delas, captain for the evening. Decent delivery, just bounced in front of the goalkeeper. That's never pleasant for a shot stopper, and the ball just bounces right in front of you. You have to judge that as well as the flight of the ball. Schnauchner. Salpingidis gone fairly quiet down that right flank after a fairly explosive opening to the game. Tried to get at the defender. Maybe that's down to the introduction of Panagiotis Lagos, who's tracked him well so far. Schnauchner. Hefty challenge into the back of Zlatan Muslimovic. No wonder he stayed down. It didn't look very pleasant, that from David Mateos. Well, always likely to cause some pain. Free kick in a dangerous position. Garcia can certainly hit them. Lino. Maybe even Villarini as well. Sahar will need to be on red alert. The way things are shaping up with both of these players left-footed, it looks as though it's going to be Garcia unless he lays it off to the left. It is Garcia with the drive into the wall. And Papa Bouba Diop clears into the heavens. Well, I can safely say that neither side has really had the upper hand in this game. Both have had spells of possession. As we approach the half-time whistle, both sides have defended well, both sides have created a chance apiece. I think 0-0 so far, a fair reflection of proceedings so far. I don't think the scream of pain there from Vitolo was quite reflective of the gravity of the foul. They does win the free kick, but was straight up onto his feet. Matteo lets that one go. Maybe he's struck a bit of fear into Muslimovic. Didn't really look like he wanted to go for that one. There will be a bit of a delay, of course, due to the objects thrown onto the pitch, stoppages. It was a good 2 or 3 minute stoppage while Scocco prepared to take a corner over on the right-hand side earlier in the game. That will have been accounted for, but referee says that's enough after 2 minutes of added time. Atromitos in the final on the 30th of April. The referee just about ready to get things underway. Well, if you're thinking that we might be in for extra time and possibly penalties, you might be right. And I should inform you that PAOK have only drawn one of their last 17 home games in all competitions. Furthermore, 10 of those games, or at least the 10 of the 15 under Joachim Havos, have had the same result at half-time and full-time. So it might be that that is again the case today, because PAOK have not taken the lead, of course, but really the stats not telling us much in terms of which way this one's going to go, nor did the action in the first half, in which both sides were able to create chances. Ivic certainly at the one end for PAOK, and then Stocco at the other for AEK Athens with a header. Maybe another fact to just counterbalance the ones we just mentioned is that AEK Athens have won 6 of their last 7 away games in all competitions, so maybe that bodes well for them. Certainly enjoyed the first half despite the lack of goals. Lino's throw in. Ivic looking for it. This is Papa Bouba Diop. Nice footwork from Vitolo. Schnauchner looking for Salpingidis, but it's collected, and that's a foul. Undoubtedly from Schnauchner. Fortunate to avoid a yellow card. Referee just ensuring that Lagos, in fact it wasn't Lagos, it was the man behind him, Skoko, wasn't too vehement with his protests. Skoko already on a yellow card, and it's he who will take the free kick here. Dangerous delivery, and it's there! AEK Athens take the lead, and it's Delas. Skoko's delivery, Delas with the final touch. Well, it was always going to be a danger from free kicks. Skoko has provided some excellent deliveries already in this game. Another teaser skimming across the heads of the PAOK defence. But most importantly, well, I don't even think that was a header from Delas. Looked as though it came off his back in the end, but unable to keep it out, Dario Kresic. And AEK Athens are in the lead. What a start to the second half for them. Well, advantage AEK, absolutely, because PAOK not only need to score one goal to equalise, they need to score two to prevent AEK from going through on away goals. So that goal as good as two really now for AEK. What a blow for the hosts. Traianos Delas, his third goal of the season. 30th appearance as well. Fantastic start to the second half for the Athenian Giants. PAOK now must attack. It's AEK still on the offensive, despite having just taken the lead. They'll be delighted with that, looking for their first trophy since 2002. Last time they won this competition, in fact. Haven't won the league title since 1994. Salpingidis, well, a lot of hopes resting on him now to get the ball forward. Garcia, now Muslimovic. Good turn. Good skill from the Bosnian. Now Lino. He's another who likes to get forward from the full-back positions. Viorinia. Control lets him down. Lino for Muslimovic. This is Garcia. It's going to need to be a bit of urgency about PAOK now. As I mentioned, 2 goals they require to remain in the competition. Cleverly done by Delas. Glancing flick into the corner. Towering frame of Kresic, unable to get down and push it away. Did get a hand to it, wasn't enough. Well, just before I'd said that AEK have won 6 of their most recent 7 away games. It's looking good for them now. Good header, one over on the far side there by Michel, but Papabu Diop couldn't get hold of it, and that gives PAOK the opportunity here to have a go. Looked like a handball as Garcia struck that one, not given by the referee. I don't think the AEK defender knew too much about it, but here's Skoko at the other end nonetheless. Good ball in field, Viberopoulos. Skoko has made the run wide, but it was well read by Cirio. Well done to the Italian defender. Former Inter Milan youngster, but had a long career since as a bit of a journeyman. as things stand, we're set for an all-Athens final. AEK presently set to face Atromitos, one of the smaller clubs from the Athenian region. Well, here's another worrying thought for PAOK as they attempt to reverse this one-goal deficit. Reverse it they must, not just equalise. AEK have kept clean sheets in each of their last 3 games. So defence is confident. Viorinia, no shot on target, not the worst. Difficult one to control and bring back across goal as he was off balance, but good idea. Easy for Saha. Viorinia again. Lino. This is Muslimovic. Muscled out of it that time by Michel. And that allows Georgias to come forward here, but that's a woeful ball forward. It did bobble just as he hit it, if you didn't notice. PAOK fans still full of cheer. They're still confident that their side can turn this around. AEK probably confident from that 4-0 victory in the league a couple of weeks ago. Will likely give them the assurance they need to hold on to this lead and possibly extend it, but PAOK, I'm sure, will give it a good go now. Fed up, of course, the Thessaloniki club playing second fiddle to Athens in terms of football, such as the rivalry between Athens and Thessaloniki. Winners of this competition in 2003. Prior to that, in 2001, also in 1974 and 1972, going backwards. Here's Viorinia. Clever ball. Almost found Ivic. Michel looking for the threaded ball in there for Ismael Blanco. For me, looking a little bit overweight, if I may say. Not quite as nippy as he was a couple of years ago. I've seen him for a few years now, and not the kind of player you can send in behind defences as he used to be able to. Problem here for Sebastian Sahar. Well, the net has come off. The linesman's come over to help him out there, or the referee's assistant, to use the proper term. Net's ripped by the looks of it. Wonder how that happened. Possibly by the look of the mark on the post. Could that be a firework? Yes, indeed it is. Wow, the net burnt. How many times have you seen that in professional football? Ridiculous. And then Blondes hit the goalkeeper as well. Well, Sahar can't be happy with that. That really is ridiculous. Probably wanted to avoid a Dida moment there by staying down for too long. Look at that, he's burnt through his shirt. This is absolutely appalling from the PAOK fans. The goalkeeper should be able to play his game without fear of injury from the crowd, certainly. Something to be ashamed of for the home side. Well, let's hope that there is no burn damage to Sahar's skin. absolutely appalling. Well, that is the case. AEK deserve a bye, really, into the final. Putting up with this kind of behaviour. Not necessary in the game of football. What a pity, because the atmosphere is absolutely superb. It just gets ruined by a few fools, really, who turn up. They're not football fans. Call themselves football fans. It's not fair, really. Brands are the ones who are here to enjoy the game with the same brush. Tarnishes them, really. Well, Saha has a new top. Let's hope we don't see scenes like that again. It detracts from the game because, of course, Saha will have half a mind on what's behind him as opposed to what's in front of him. Something he shouldn't have to deal with as a professional goalkeeper. Just a reference to the scoreline, with it being 1-0 now to AEK, having been 0-0 from the first leg. That does rule out the possibility of extra time. We will have a winner inside 90 minutes here tonight. Let's hope that's the end of it. The referee has just about calmed things down, certainly among the players, but that doesn't really seem to be where the problem lies. It's in the crowd that things need sorting out. Saha fit and ready to go once again. Net just about patched up. Not ideal. Oh, that's the first time I've ever seen that. The net being burned by one of the crowd. Let's hope football takes centre stage once again, because it's been a well-contested match thus far. Two sides, both in Europe this season. PAOK made it as far as the round of 32 in the Europa League, only to fall against CSKA Moscow in the end. AEK Athens went out in the group stage, in a group with Zenit St. Petersburg and Anderlecht. Two sides full of international quality. Won by Blanco. Not much behind him to aim for. That's nicely done at the back by Contreras. Play resumes quickly. Ivic gets it going. It's Alpingidis. And the ball back in. And that's well defended. Michel chasing back, making sure that the return pass wasn't an option. Here again the goal from Dallas, the only one of the game, or indeed the tie so far. AEK leading 1-0 on aggregate. It was Vitolo who had made the run. Under half an hour left for PAOK to turn this game around. Revive their hopes of reaching the Greek Cup final. Lino. 4 bodies ahead of him. Muscled out of it though. Free kick given, in fact. I'm surprised at that one. Grigoris Makos, Greek international. Experienced player. Even at the age of 24, he was the captain of Panionios at just 19 before he moved to AEK in 2009. So Lino's delivery, flicked on, dangerous. Not the best kick out. offside given against Ismail Blanco. Didn't have such a great season last season under Dusan Bajovic, having had 2 extraordinarily good ones before that. But has a new lease of life under Manuel Jimenez. 15 goals in 32 appearances, certainly no mean return. It's Contreras ball forward. Throw-in goes PAOK's way. Another missile thrown from the crowd. Looked like a hand given. Chance here for PAOK. I think there's going to be a card here as well. It's yellow. Goes the way of Muslimovic. Take another look. Well, a handball by Liberopoulos. Quite what Muslimovic received the card for, I'm not sure. Seemed to be gesturing as though there was an elbow involved, but I certainly didn't see it. Chance for Garcia to deliver, and that he can certainly do. Great passer of the ball, good set piece specialist as well. Big favourite among the club. Agreed a new deal not so long ago, reduced wages to help the club's finances, and it is Garcia's free kick. Comfortably headed away by Liberopoulos. Michel, that's a good ball for Blanco. He can't find a way past Lino. Ivic challenging with Papa Bouba Diop. 2 very tall players, but Papa Bouba Diop always the favourite. Such is his stature in those situations, the man they call the wardrobe. Fantastic ball that, almost found Salpingidis, no flag either. Didn't quite follow the flight path of the ball there, Salpingidis. We're going to see a substitution now for AEK, and Roger Guerrero. First, what a ball that is. Just took his eye off it. Now, Guerrero has set up goals in both his last 2 appearances, and there were calls for him to be included from the start in this game. Maybe a chance to sew things up for the visitors. Muslimovic, Villarini. And the ball through wasn't a good one, but Villarini will collect it once again here. Crosses too deep. Lino. Bit more zip about PAOK at the moment. They've enjoyed more of the attacking play so far. They do need to put the pressure on. They do need 2 goals. Bouba Diop's header away. Quietly efficient in front of the back 4. The former Fulham midfielder. Ivic. That's nicely done. A strike in the end, surprisingly, from Cirio, who charged all the way forward from centre-back. But it was a centre-back strike in the end, clearing the crossbar by some way. Well, Roger Guerrero, Brazilian by birth, Polish by nationality. He replaces Nikos Liberopoulos. The 35-year-old's had enough of this one. Worked hard up front. Not quite going his way, so he makes way, and Roger Guerrero comes in to replace him. Also coming on for PAOK is Vasilios Koutsianakoulis. Koutsianakoulis, an attacking left-sided player. There he is on the ball with his first touch, and Koutsianakoulis, now Lino. Decent ball in, but headed away. Lino. Vitola. Schnauchner. Break halted in its tracks as Villarini is brought down. Well, he is now moved over to the right hand side from the left. That's a yellow card as well for Panagiotis Lagos. Here comes the delivery. It's deep. Goalkeeper comes and claims. Almost dropped it at the feet of Ivic, though. Could have been dangerous. Or was it Contreras? I do beg your pardon. Who'd just snuck up there. He's making tracks back now to centre-back. Wondered why he'd moved so far forward. Usually leaves attacking duties to his central defensive partner Cirio, but not on that occasion. Look likely to make another substitution now. Stavros Tsoukalas, the man preparing to join the action. Another attacking midfielder. Garcia. Koutsianakoulis. Koutsianakoulis, the man who came on a few moments ago, in fact scored the equalising goal in that win against Olympiacos at the weekend. So perhaps deserving a start as Guerrero tries to get away down the right for AEK, but Skoko will. Poor cross, and Ismael Blanco was waiting in the centre, just needed a dink into the centre. Good opportunity wasted by the Argentinian. So here comes Tsoukalas, and it's Schnauchner who makes way. A bit of added creativity. Defender for a midfielder. Here's Pablo Garcia. Lino again, 33, bombing forward. Not in terms of stature, but in terms of a willingness to attack, reminiscent of the great Brazilian full-backs of the years gone by, such as Cafu and Roberto Carlos. Maicon these days, of course, as well at Inter Milan. That was the foul from Scocco. Contreras. Gianakoulis fouled. Michel penalised in a dangerous position. Still fairly far out to think about trying to score from this kind of range. I'm sure they will consider it. Saha certainly got plenty of time to think about any type of shot that begins its journey towards his goal. Vieira standing over it, as is Lino. Pushing and shoving going on in the box. Referee just going to calm that down before any set piece is carried out. Lino takes it. Flighted delivery. From Papa Bouba Diop. Muslimovic battling in the centre, getting a bit rough and tumble up there. Guerrero. Say Guerrero provided the all-important assist for Scocco in the weekend victory over Kavala for AEK Athens. Victory that saw them move into third position. Cirillo looking for Vierinia. Won't win the throw. Just to confirm for you earlier, that substitution when Gianakoulis came on, it was in fact Dimitrios Salpingidis who made way. Forgot to mention, but that has now been confirmed. By Lino. Contreras. Cirillo out wide of him. Sloppy from Vitolo. Blanco gives chase, but again Cirillo quick to avert the danger. Into the final quarter of an hour of the game, if you include stoppage time as well. Garcia's free kick. Good delivery. Arriving was Viorinia. Correction quickly as well to that substitution. It was Ivic who went off and not Salpingidis. Beg your pardon for my mistake there. Just read out the wrong name. This is Lagos. Tsoukalas. In fact, it was Viorinia with the cross. Muslimovic jumping. Away only as far as Lino. Desperate times really now for PAOK. They need 2 goals. They don't just need to equalise, because away goals do count, and AEK are the only side with one of those at the moment. That will remain the case as well. Offside given, correct decision. 2 players, Skoko and Ismael Blanco, straying beyond the defensive back line, and that's the yellow card by the looks of it as well. Well, the referee had his cards out there. I think he's just had to realise, well, Lagos needs to be careful, because any more of that and he'll be off. He's already had a yellow card. Oh, substitution. It's Fatakis who's come on. Just confirm the departing player in a moment. Dangerous. Not the best cross in the end from Koutsianakoulis. Oh, well, look at Salpingidis in the centre. Just needed to be rolled across for him, and he didn't catch it right. Straight into the grateful arms of Sebastian Saha. Clever turn, Muslimovic. Koutsianakoulis again. Maybe we'll get a second bite at the cherry here. Better pass in field. Garcia. Too predictable. Guerrero battling for it, and well, Garcia has hold of him. Oh, free kick given. Looked like an okay challenge to me, that, from Pablo Garcia. He's a player renowned for his fiery temperament. We'll just calm those 2 down, I'm sure. One more substitution, and it's Cafes, who's been out for some time injured, as I mentioned at the beginning of the game. The club captain of AEK Athens. Looks like Makos who's coming off. Yes, indeed. So Grigoris Makos makes way for Pantelis Cafes, another defensive midfielder, so like for like change from Manuel Jimenez. Giannakoulis, nice turn. Well, he's been likened to many top players. You can see why. He's certainly got that nippiness about him on the left flank. Vasilios Giannakoulis, still just 22 years of age. He's been selected for the Greek squad, but yet to make his full international debut. Brought in a couple of years ago from Ergotelis for 1.2 million euros. Papa Bouba Diop just falling awkwardly. Takes a lot to injure him though. Seven minutes of normal time remaining. Barring any silly mistakes now, AEK Athens should be on their way into the Greek Cup Final 2011, where they'll face another Athenian side. Tromitos, strong challenge. Sarpingidis gives chase. Cleared away by Mateos. Can PAOK score a goal and set up a lively finish here? Fans certainly deserve it. They've provided a wonderful atmosphere, but for a few misdemeanours among a few idiots who have thrown things onto the pitch and such like. Really has been a wonderful atmosphere in terms of noise. Well, got a problem on the dugout now, which is something we've already seen in this game. Indeed, certainly in the earlier match as well, between Olympiakos Volos and Atromitos, the other two semi-finalists. Plenty of trouble on the sidelines before the match, which threatened to delay the game. Did for a couple of minutes as well. That was Fatakis, ball wide. Cirillo, strong challenge, fair one. Not, says the referee. Well, it was high studs, but he certainly got the ball. All of it, none of the player. Time is running out for the men in black. The black half of the double-headed Eagles derby. AEK player making the most of it. And with time running out, who can blame him? Michel it was who went to clear. A yellow card here for Roger Guerrero. He's wondering what for, so am I. Dissent, one can assume. Still continuing his exchange with Pablo Garcia. Missed header there at the back. Dangerous from Nacho Skoko. In fact, it was Michel who'd missed the header, because this is it was Skoko wide, but play goes on anyway. Guerrero. Not the worst ball wide for Georgias to chase. Plenty of energy, the 34-year-old. Nice skills from Guerrero. Still he continues. Overran it in the end, and a goal kick. Surely now, despite his angry gestures, Manuel Jimenez must know his side are within touching distance of the final. Less than 3 minutes of normal time to go, plus stoppage time, of course. Lino forward. A little nudge in the back of Salpinguidis just to put him off as Guerrero collects, but Pablo Garcia 41 possession. Illegally so, says the match referee. It looks as though PAOK's time has passed, unless they can conjure up 2 strikes in these final minutes. The crowd subdued. I think they know their fate, but you never know. Stranger things have happened, certainly in football. Still Blanco fighting every ball, making sure his side reached the final. He was part of the AEK team that lost on penalties in 2009, so agonisingly having pegged the game back to 4-4 in extra time. What a game that was. Only to go on and lose 15-14 on penalties. Extraordinary match. They'll be hoping to put that right this year in 2011. Certainly you'd think they would be the favourites against Atromitos, although the man in charge, well, look at this. There's a riot on the pitch and the players are being rushed down the tunnel. Well, these are very sad scenes indeed. My word. This is unbelievable. Never seen anything like it in football. The crowd entering the pitch to attack the players. From what I can tell, that's what's happened. And it would not surprise me if the game is now called off. This cannot be allowed to happen. What on earth is going on? What is going through the minds of these... Well, let me rephrase that. Nothing is going through the minds of these people because they're mindless. I've never seen anything quite like that. The PAOK so-called fans, I'm sure that's what they'll call themselves. That is exactly what they're not. Look at this. Unbelievable. All over a game of football as well. Well, sickening really. The players have had to go back into the tunnel. Clearly more policing required. Officials not taking any chances, they're leaving the fray now as well. The cameramen cannot even afford to leave their equipment on the pitch for fear of its and their own safety. Woeful, woeful scenes. What a shame. What a shame. Right at the end of a game which for the most part has been played in good spirits. And 2 good football teams have delivered an exciting match, and this Greek Cup semi-final second leg looks like it might be over for the wrong reasons. And one can only hope that should that be the case, AEK would